Today I want to talk about an idea that I had this morning, and I'm expanding upon it already, and I felt like it's important to bring you along on this journey to see what happens. It's going to go live, in action, uncut, so to speak, and it's going to be awesome to see the way it unfolds. So the point of creating a system is that it can replicate a thing, duplicate over and over again to scale, and also with the variant of different people using it. Therefore, as a writer and a tarot enthusiast, consider tarot as cards. They're considered a card game, and each card combines to become the hero's journey. So anybody knowing about storytelling knows that really every story, including all of your favorite movies, followed this very similar path of the hero's journey, and that's back from Carl Jung and all the way into other references I could keep going on about. Just acknowledging that and connecting the tarot, which for various spiritual reasons I connect to and divinate. Don't mean to push anyone on that. So focusing here on the very practical card game aspect of it, okay? The tarot, T-A-R-O-T. Yeah. So that being said, what I've created here is a storyboarding system with this as the live example, pulling cards to fit into various aspects of creating a story. So my thought this morning was two-part. First of all, what if this whole system could be created? So that's what I was acting out the second part of it. But my first question was really such an interesting perspective on the tarot and the characters, the various people represented in the characteristics in the tarot deck that we'll come to see just through this example in case you're unfamiliar. I just thought about them as though it could be a TV series, like in episodes. Really like a dramatic one, no less. But also another thought of the day was from conversations that I've had yesterday and today. So keeping it real present and recent so we know we're all like working together within the magic of the creativity, which is why I'm doing this, what I call live. Not planned, not even outlined first. So the layer on here is comedy, turning things into something funny, because maybe those old school gangsters had it right. Smile now, cry later, because really we can do one or the other, and pretty much there's only two options. So that's been a little joke of last night and today. So putting that in there, having humor be an element that we're composing. So I would like to layer that as an added challenge, because in my imagination, this is the first time I'm exercising this as a story from the system that I've created, okay? And this is just an idea from today. So we know how rough draft it is, but I actually believe in it. Sometimes when these epiphany type of ideas come, we kind of know it's gonna all work out. And even as I'm speaking, we still haven't laid it out yet. So let's see how this goes. When I draw tarot cards, I have a system, and that means that I have to wait for the card to jump out. So I don't just take the top or the bottom. And do we do reversals? I say yes. Let's make note of the reversals, okay? Okay, so we can timestamp this as the initial shuffling for the storyboarding, and we will be using this particular outline that I have here as a draft to be an example for our tarot. Excuse me for the time here. Background music is totally awesome, but really tuning in here, I'm going to be shuffling now. I can see why the cards aren't coming out here. So while we're using this as a game, I also am applying divination skills aka sentiments towards these particular cards. So there is that added element that may intrigue some of you, that may put it off for some of you, but I also feel like it's important to mention that some part of my experience, which is ours in the example. Now the first card came out, this is the theme. The theme is justice. Now that's incredible. This is a major arcana card, meaning it's actually a theme card, considered more powerful. Perhaps it would have more value in case there was accounting. Although they, yeah, actually, because this is 1011 is the number. And some people, there's a lot of symbols involved in the tarot. Okay, so no one's going to really be getting too much into it, except for the fact of plugging it into this system. So the theme is justice. We're going to keep all the cards out. I feel like putting the number on them for some odd reason. Okay. Oh, I guess I did kind of feel like taking the next card, but I'm not trying to be too feelings-based or locked in or reserved even. So being liberal with my draws. Sometimes I find it good luck to carry like my tool that I'm working with, even when I'm doing other things. So my mechanical pencil is guiding this next draw. Just teasing. Okay. Yeah, that's good though. Haha, right? Get the humor. Haha. I just looked over, I have a piece of chocolate on the board over there I haven't eaten yet. Haha! Snack, I didn't eat you all when I first got you. As if I remembered you were there, you would have been gone already. Okay, it's just lame jokes, but you know how they say smile until it's a real smile or whatever? Until you feel it on the inside. Okay, so the humor will become authentic. Now let's get into characters. 4 characters. Let's see what comes up. 4 characters, like the board game. 4 characters, please. 2. These 2 came out at the same time. That's okay. We'll put it like that. And then it's like asking for the entire family. Who are you? I will go ahead and keep the cards parked in this little box. Okay. So the first character is the protagonist, and we got this card, which is actually an element. And I did, before I started, realize that at any point, in case a card just doesn't fit or make sense, feel free to immediately just discard or put it back in the pile and leave it blank and come back to it, or draw another one for it. So at any point, that's an option. However, I feel like moving forward with all these cards that it's possible, so I am going to move forward anyway. First character being the protagonist. This is a reversal, actually, okay, and this is the 7 of Cups. So what I'm going to write down while we're looking at it, okay, 7 of Cups, and then what can be done is to look more into the meaning of it. But what the protagonist looks like, we could say male, but somebody upside down, even just writing 7 of Cups, I can probably do that right now without looking too much more into it, which makes it interesting because I'm going to keep all the cards anyways, right? Okay, so the next one is the 4 of Pentacles, which are coins. Pentacles just means coins, like of the earth, exchange currency. 4, love Roman numerals, of coins. I'm going to put coins here. Different decks call things different things. So if I call a protagonist 7 of Cups, I'm going to say 7 feelings. Okay? But I don't even have to erase cups. I just want to kind of put it as like feeling. Or emotional. Okay, this just notes for me as we're developing a character. Okay, so Cups now becomes feelings. Makes sense because we're characterizing. Trying to figure out who this is. Now, Major Arcana is a Chariot. A little bit easier to discern. The 4 of Coins, for example, this being a person. Like, so we can kind of see this person now. Easier to characterize it, perhaps, some of them than others, but we do want to look at the meaning of them as well. That's number 7. Major arcana, the Chariot. So that's number 7 as well. I love numbers, but I don't know how it's going to come into play yet. This is a live. I'm calling it live because I'm experiencing the system for the first time. Okay, Chariot. Now, let's see here. Yeah, it's like I can start to characterize from the picture, and these are the original type of go-to images. So yes, we can base some of our discernment off of the images here. However, as you probably know, and in case you don't, there are loads and loads of different tarot cards and representations. So Temperance in reverse. I didn't write any of the reversals down, unfortunately, so I just want you to know that I'm not applying reversals to this. That's a decision I just made. X15. What number is that? 14. Okay. Great. And looks like an angel, so I'm just going to write Temperance. This is a major arcana. I'm going to start moving forward a little bit smoother here, because those of us who have been unfamiliar have gotten your mini intro, and now we're just going to get right to the flow of it. Alrighty, so hopefully that's neutralized some territory on what these cards are, how we're using it. Now we're just going to move through the system, keeping all the cards out, being able to represent them as we go, and simply drawing them all and keeping track of it as we go. As well as, by the way, remembering this is the first time I'm using this system that I just developed. So we're experiencing it together. Now I want to know what the point of view is. Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the point of view, so I wonder how that's going to play out. That's the point of view. So if I look at this image, for example, this is the way I'm looking at it. So I look at it from high above, possibly. Maybe it even looks like I'm looking in an oracle, or I'm looking at it from the future, looking at in retrospect. So it's all a flashback or something. So our creativity is going to take a real strong turn here. We're watching how the tarot can guide a story. Storyboarding. Okay, so Queen of Cups is the point of view. Oh, hi there, conflict. The Hierophant. That's a very interesting conflict, because that's, without getting too much into meaning, this is a powerful, obviously, like the theme is justice, and the Hierophant is 10. Hierophant can be religious structures, institutions. Okay, and you could see this type of person, possibly, maybe the way that this person is approached. That's the conflict. We'll see how that develops, obviously. We're still even drawing all of our cards. So we got to get through now the setting, the moral. Yeah, and I put the title at the very, very, very end. Okay, so come back up here for a little to see my face. Alright, not super stoked on that, because this is not about me. Shy girl. Not really. Alright, so the setting so far is to be determined. The setting of this story with the theme as justice. Okay, keeping on going. The setting. Where is the setting? I didn't clarify it, but we'll just get our information from the Empress. So that's the setting. So that might be like at your mom's house, right? Because the Empress is like the motherly figure of the deck. So your mom's house. And that's where it's going to take place, at your mom's house. I'm just kidding. I'm writing the Empress down. It's number 3 in the Major Arcana. Yeah, see my face again. Okay. The moral of the story. The moral of the story. You know, I think it's important, even just to guide the cards out in a non-spiritual divination way. I feel like it's possible for anybody, just which one feels like the right card for your story, even just to say that you'd be guided. Gosh, doing my best to make it relevant for a science person, an atheist, a religious person. I just feel like it's possible, but I don't want to overspeak it, because in case you're uncomfortable with the process of using cards like this, it's like, got nothing. Okay, but what we do have here is the moral of the story is the Hermit. There's another card coming out. What should I do? First, it's legitimately, we can see it this way. Is it the next one? Okay, the Hermit is 1x, so that's number 9, and that's the moral. Is this also the moral, or is this the next one? Hey! Ace of Swords. Totally the intro. Ace. Okay, let's see what they look like right now. Okay, so we got the Hermit here. The Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven is the moral. Hey, you, where you at? Hey, you. Okay. That's the Hermit. That's the moral of the story. And then we got the intro, the Ace of Swords. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and press pause and get the rest of these cards shuffled and be back.